Redfin reports are now out. We're seeing a growing demand for real estate in the country, right? It has always been a thing. And at one point, people are like, okay, there's not enough homes being built. And landlords are like, we're asking crazy high prices because you're willing to pay for it. So we're finally seeing the rents are flattening out in September. And this is for the first time in a long time. And right now, certain areas in the US, even the Midwest, are actually seeing rates going up and apartment supply is going up with prices dropping like a rock. This is not a fun time to be a landlord. I mean, if you're a landlord trying to rent your house out and you're going to be facing a lot of competition, you're probably going to be lowering some of those rent prices. And a lot of these new landlords, people who buy into Airbnbs, people who got like a crazy loan, like 5% down and bought like 5 different houses, these are going to be the guys that will be going bust very soon, especially we could be seeing another massive interest rate hike. So the party is just getting started for the bears. So rental market, it's flattening out, right? A lot of landlords right now are going broke. Landlords are actually pretty scared. And you do see the Redfin reports that many landlords and big apartment complexes, especially in America's biggest cities, for example, San Francisco, New York City, Tampa, Seattle, Austin, are all getting lower rents. And one of the reasons why is just so much building, right? People are building these apartments like crazy. And I said this in like several videos ago when I used to talk about real estate that, hey, houses, townhouses, and apartments, we're going to be seeing 1 to 2 million new units in the upcoming 2 to 3 years. And several hundreds of thousands of those units have already come on the market. And this is adding in a lot of pressure, especially for the new guys who spent like 1% down, 5% down, or even 10% down on like 5 different houses or apartments. These are the guys seeing, oh crap, we kind of over leverage and this is what's going on. I mean, even Zillow offers you like a 1% down payment, which is absolutely nutty. And check this out, 59% of recent home buyers are saying that purchasing a home is more stressful than dating. I mean, at least dating is somewhat fun sometimes, but buying a home, especially with property taxes all the way up, you're also seeing home insurance being super duper expensive. It's just not a great market at all. And this is a really funny statistic, but also a very terrifying statistic because many of the homeowners that say it's stressful are the ones that are probably skipping meals just to pay for their mortgage, right? We actually saw a survey of like a third of Americans actually skip dinner or lunch just to pay their mortgage. It's actually pretty insane. You got people living paycheck to paycheck just for the mortgage. You got also have a lot of unfixed mortgages out there and loans. And guess what? Interest rates are going up. Ray Dalio is saying that another interest rate hike for November and also December is very well in the making. I mean, you can't really be sure that there won't be an interest rate hike. Some people are saying that the economy is slowing down and inflation may be going down. I mean, yes, I do kind of agree, but guess what? Economy is still pretty hot. The recent job employment rates are really good. 3.8% unemployment isn't good enough. They got to get that to 5.0. Once they get to 5.0, then it's time to perhaps lower rates. And plus, we're probably going to be seeing high rates for the rest of this year and also next year all the way to September, which is kind of like what everyone's saying. So that's very stressful. That's very crazy. And now we also have the OG, Jamie Dimon, CEO of Chase. This guy is massive. And if you guys want somebody to think about interest rates or somebody to talk about real estate, this is the man to go to. Jamie Dimon usually doesn't make appearances, and his status as Chase's long-term CEO, well, he's not going to be telling you guys a lot of BS, right? He's going to tell it straight up, issued a stark warning on Monday that he thinks the rates will be going up perhaps to 7% and even above it, right? The current ranges are about 5.25 to 5.55. Dimon told Bloomberg TV that central banks will probably continue hiking rates by another 1.5%. Not really that big a surprise, all the way to 7%. So next year, we could be seeing 2 massive hikes or 4 smaller hikes, adding up to 7%. You know what happens when rates hit 7%? Well, we're going to be getting a lot of businesses closing down, even some of the bigger companies going down, and super big companies, mega caps, are going to have some doo-doo earnings. 7% interest rates for the next few months is probably going to cause another 1 to 3% increase in unemployment. So if you're a newly college grad or if you're in the middle through college, well, I hate to tell you this, but you're probably not going to be getting a job anytime soon. I mean, hopefully you do, but it doesn't really look that great. Especially unemployment recently ticked from 3.4, 3.5 to 3.8, 3.9. So you kind of get the idea it's getting worse. And housing mortgage rates is what we're going to be looking at. Mortgage rates are climbing to 7.49%, hurting home sales. This is actually one of the highest that we've ever seen. And we're going to be seeing this go even higher. If you just go to Zillow and go to some like the biggest cities, like for example, San Francisco, nobody's buying a home, okay? Many of these homes are on the market for a very long time. Now, homes in the Midwest, for example, if you go to like Cincinnati, which is another very hot destination, a lot of these Midwestern homes priced at under 700K, these still have decent demand. Like, we're not really going to be seeing like these suburban homes going down in price. Like, for example, let's just pick a townhouse, like this townhouse here, right? $559,000, good neighborhood. This is a fantastic little location. That's pretty nice, right? You got man-made lakes. Like, locations like these typically don't go down in price that much. I mean, I know $500,000 is very expensive, but in the housing world, it's really not that bad, right? You can also get like single family homes like these, like this one, for example, 600 grand, 4,500 square feet. Like houses like these, yes, they'll go down in value, but maybe just a few percentage points. Not really that much. But we're talking about like big cities like New York City's big expensive condos. You also have even Miami condos, Seattle houses. These are going to be the locations where housing prices are going down a lot. And guess what? You also have like the massive Airbnb bubble. You know what's going on with the Airbnb situation? People really over leveraged like crazy. I mean, during the pandemic at 0% rates, you see people like getting loans for like 5% down, and they bought like 7 different houses to rent out as Airbnbs. Yeah, those guys are pretty toast. Even on Super Bowl weekend, only half the homes at location actually get rented out. And it's only going to get worse and worse by the day. And many of these units, even in Seattle, like these condos are not selling. Like I remember like condos like these did not go for just $800,000. Condos like these at the peak was like $1.2 million easy. But now these condos really are getting cheaper and cheaper. I mean, I can't believe you can actually find something for $375,000 in the middle of Seattle. I mean, though this is a pretty small unit, it looks pretty good, but for $375 in Seattle, that's a pretty good deal. You're not going to be getting deals better than this, but at the same time, yeah, they're good deals, but unless you're paying in cash, you're going to be paying a pretty crazy high mortgage. And also, we're finally seeing construction companies wrapping up several of the biggest projects, and many of these projects are not really bearing fruit. We're seeing massive liquidation sales, fire sales. It's only going to get worse. A lot of scary stuff happening in the housing market, and I don't really recommend you guys to go into the market just yet. I mean, maybe at least wait till next year when prices go down, because rents are going down for once, right? When rents are going down and Airbnb units are going bust, you're going to be seeing even more foreclosure considering how much over leveraging people did in the past few years. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe for more. And the real estate situation is just getting started. We might be seeing some of the craziest real estate prices in the upcoming few months.